Welcome back to the Annuity Happy Hour.
Why are you
Josh,
giggling?
This is Caleb. Caleb was about to go on a tangent. I had to stop him before we started that the last take on this episode.
Yeah, y'all don't hear it because what y'all hear is kind of once we start actually recording the podcast. But for the last 5 minutes, we've been having a conversation.
No, for the last 15 minutes, we've been having a conversation.
And where I wanted to segue into our podcast was talking about Turtle Man, but Josh didn't want us to segue in talking about Turtle Man. So,
Well, I will comment that you were wearing the same outfit as last week.
you know,
Nicely done.
I love these rafter C shirts, and what I should do if I was smart, I would have like a Monday shirt, a Tuesday shirt, a Wednesday shirt, a Thursday shirt, and a Friday shirt, and I have enough of them to do that. And then what I do is every week the shirt moves one day over, right?
Oh, interesting.
So that it's like every Friday on our Friday morning mentorship calls that are weekly deals, I'm for 5 weeks in a row, it's a different shirt. And then on our recordings for our podcasts, every 5 episodes, 5 YouTube videos, it's a different shirt. So I'm gonna start doing that.
Maybe start doing that.
But historically, it's just kind of random, and I happen to grab it. So
I do the same thing. I've got like 5 shirts that I really love. I've got like a gray polo. I haven't actually worn this shirt in a long time.
I don't know that I've ever seen that shirt.
Got the green one that I wore last week. I've got a couple others that are kind of that cotton material. I like them.
Yeah,
I like them.
I'm here for it.
Well, what are you feeling this week, man? How was your week?
Good week. I would say that probably one of the standouts from this week is like, what are you tracking? Like, what are you keeping up with? What are you measuring? And is it the right thing? So there's an old saying. I actually don't know. I don't know if it's that old. Actually,
He's making up an old saying right now.
Okay.
He's an old soul, and he's got a saying that he wants to share with us right now. So
I will. I will. Okay, this is actually kind of a call out moment on myself. I will absolutely preface something that just came to my mind for the first time ever in history.
And you preface it?
And preface it with, there's this old saying that...
Like you do that intentionally?
I don't think about it. It just comes out.
It just feels like it should have
and
been.
And it's one of those one-liners that should have been around forever, but it's actually something you just thought of. But you want to add a little bit of credibility to it.
I'm going to start calling you out for that kind of stuff.
You start asking me, is that actually an old saying, or did you just think of that? And
You're just going to not know. You're going to be like, actually, I don't know.
I don't even think about saying it, though. That's the way I preface kind of a one-liner.
That's
it's like
funny.
There's this old saying
Well,
or
what's
whatever.
this old saying that you got?
The old
for us
saying
today?
is that if you want something to improve, start measuring it. And that just merely the act of measuring the thing, it'll improve.
I believe that.
I think, okay, we used to go to these conferences in Hawaii, the Bob Harrison Increase conferences, and we got to go back.
I'm ready to go back.
I love those things. Chad, if you're listening to this, we want to go back to Increase. Bob, if you're listening to this.
Or just Hawaii.
Yeah, or just take us to Hawaii. Oh, those were the best, man. You remember when we played spike ball by the beach and we absolutely destroyed that perfect grass?
Let's just set the scene here. It was a pristine, it was probably cut with a real mower, about a quarter inch to half inch thick, plush grass.
It was not far off of a green.
Yeah. And by the end of that 4 or 5 day period,
it was a bunker.
It was like you had 4 distinct spots where people would stand.
Yep.
And that grass got trashed.
Yeah,
we played a lot of spike ball.
A ton.
Caleb and I actually thought about trying to go pro in spike ball for a little while.
Yeah.
He actually used to be really good at it.
Actually, you were going to order us jerseys or something.
Yeah, I was.
I thought that was...
Should I still? We might need to order one size up now.
Am I crazy to think that was my Christmas gift one year?
It was your Christmas gift one year.
Oh, you made out like a bandit on that deal.
Well, I didn't get a Christmas gift from you either, so.
I'm pretty sure I got you whiskey. I usually get you a good bottle of whiskey.
We've started that now. We've got.
I say that after 1 year of doing it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Usually.
We did good. We did good last year on getting each other a good bottle of whiskey.
That's true. Congrats. Yeah.
We actually just finished off the bottle of Oban that you got me.
Yeah.
For Christmas last year.
Man,
I savor it.
Your whiskey lasts longer than my whiskey.
We'll say no comment on that.
No comment.
Just kidding.
Also, I'm a chronic sharer, and I think you do too. But like, if I go to a house party or whatever, having dinner with friends, like I'm taking whiskey. I go out to my parents' place, my dad likes it, like I'm taking whiskey. So it's like whatever I got on hand, it gets shared.
Yeah. Now that my wife's getting into whiskey too, I had that nice bottle of Garrison Brothers, and that thing didn't last as long as I thought it would have.
Yeah, Garrison Brothers is something else.
It's good, man.
I'm telling you.
I've started using it even for old fashions.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, they're going to say, well, hey, you can't use a bottle of whiskey that nice for an old fashioned. I say, I'm paying for the whiskey. I can use it however I want to.
That's right.
Because I've got a bottle of Macallan 18. That's, I think at this point, probably like a $300 bottle of scotch.
Right.
So it's like.
I guarantee you.
It was a gift. Okay, it was a gift. I didn't buy it myself.
That was the one I gave you?
No, you didn't give me that one.
Okay.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe. I think actually you gave me a bottle of Garrison Brothers.
The single barrel, I think, or the barrel select or whatever it is.
Yeah, it was a single. It was the silver topper.
Yeah. The good one.
I'll say this.
Just keep that in mind for this year.
And I like whiskey straight, neat, on the rocks, whatever. Nothing, not a cocktail. But I do like an old fashioned. And I will say 100% that you can use a cheap whiskey and make a good old fashioned, or you can use a good whiskey and make a great old fashioned. And it's like, are people going to look down their nose at you using a $100 bottle of whiskey on an old fashioned? It's like, yeah, but that's probably going to be a really stinking good old fashioned.
And it's basically neat whiskey with like a couple dashes of a couple different kinds of bitters and maybe a little bit of sugar.
One of the best old fashions.
It's not that much, and maybe a little bit of cherry.
Right. Yeah, it's just there's an element of it. I guess the bitters is a little bit unique, but like cherry and
or the orange peel too.
Yeah. Like some of it, you're just kind of bringing out, you're accentuating notes that are already there a lot of the times. Right. Especially if you do a smoked old fashioned. So since I've rolled cigars, here's a crazy thing. So when you roll a cigar, you always end up with cutoff, okay? So off the end of the cigar, right? When you make it nice flat end to light, there's always a little bit that gets cut off. So you roll, 24 cigars, and now you got 24 cutoffs. What I'll do is I'll take a torch, and I will light those things up, and they'll smolder and they'll smoke, and I'll smoke my old-fashioned glass with my cigar. Yeah, the butts of my cigars that I've cut off.
Huh.
And dude, I think it's better than like cedar plank or pecan plank or anything. Have you ever had a smoked old fashioned? Yeah.
I'm not as keen to the smoked old fashions. The smoky flavor tends to do something with my palate.
Really?
But I'm not a big cigar guy either.
That's true.
Like if I smoke a cigar, I haven't smoked a cigar probably in at least a few years.
Yeah.
Really. But every time I do, it just leaves that like coating in my mouth that I do not like. So when you guys go smoke your cigars, I just have a glass of whiskey, and that's great for me.
Yeah, it's great. To each their own.
But they smell good.
Yeah.
Like the ones that you've rolled, I mean, they smell super good. I've heard that they're really good.
Thank you. Word travels fast.
This is a plug for you. When Caleb launches his cigar business next.
Oh, jeez. Golly. That would be crazy. That'd be kind of cool because
Passion project.
Yeah, it's kind of like we've talked about someday down the road opening up like a coffee roaster or shop or something.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, the further we get into this thing, the less enthused I am about that idea. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, definite opportunities out there for passion projects.
Project.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I will say one of the best old fashions I ever had was actually Garrison Brothers.
Really?
Yeah, it was Garrison Brothers with Amaro Montenegro, which is it's an Italian liqueur. It was actually at what's the Italian restaurant in Austin? Not North Italia. It's off 2nd. I think it's on 2nd Street. Taverna.
Oh, okay.
Taverna?
Yep.
Yeah. Taverna, if you're listening. How arrogant is that to think that's some random Italian restaurant?
If you're listening to this from any place in the world, agents, come to Austin and go to a place called Taverna.
Go check it out.
It's really good.
It's great Italian food, but they had an old fashioned that was Garrison Brothers with Amaro Montenegro, and then it was Angostura bitters and orange bitters with cherry and
I always use
orange
both
peel.
of those too.
Yeah. and it was one of the best old fashions that I'd ever had. And Garrison Brothers is a wheated bourbon, 100% Texas product in the mash bill. So Texas food grade white corn, which is unique. Texas winter wheat. What's the third grain? I don't think it's rye. I think it's a barley. I think it has to be a barley.
I think it's barley. I don't think it's rye.
Texas grown barley, let's say. Garrison Brothers, if I'm botching this, then
please still sponsor us.
Just sponsor us,
Please.
And then I'll get it right next time.
And we'll know with certainty. We'll say whatever script you want us to.
Yeah, whatever. And then Texas, it's rainwater that they actually collect and clean, and that's the mash bill. So it's all Texas ingredients. It's expensive. I say that it's like $90 for kind of their run of the mill bottle or whatever, which relative.
I think 79 is their.
Is it?
Yeah.
Can you get it for 80? Okay. Well, I mean, in the bourbon world, it's not
an upper bourbon for sure though.
But it's so good, and the thing that I love about it is how clearly corny it is. Like you drink that, and you
not
can
corny
taste,
like your jokes, but like corny as an actual corn.
You can taste the corn. The notes of corn in that thing is just so there. I love it.
Good stuff.
It's so good.
I don't remember what we were starting on today, but
measuring.
Oh, measuring, yeah.
Yeah, what are you
tracking?
measure the
what
corn.
Are you measuring? You got to measure the amount of barley, all that kind of stuff.
Buy yourself a bottle of Garrison Brothers. You won't regret it.
Tell them that the Annuity Happy Hour sent you.
Yeah. Send Garrison Brothers
this
an
is
email.
This is not yet sponsored by Garrison Brothers, but one day it will be.
One day. I'm believing for it.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
So what are some of the things, man, that you see that agents need to really be tracking as they're building a financial business?
Well, I'll give you an example. If let's say you're buying leads, you get 20 leads in. Oh, I got 20 leads. Now you're all excited. You got 20 leads. Well, okay, that's great, but what's come of it? It's like you always want to track with the greatest intensity the thing that is of most importance. And for an agent producing, it's production. I mean, it's what's the volume that's being written. So if you get 20 leads in, you get all excited about 20 leads, and then you start making calls, and let's say you book half of them with appointments, and you start getting all excited about your appointments. Okay, we still haven't got any business closed. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like, I could see how that could sound like the priorities are wonky. It's like at the end of the day, we're helping people, and that's truly my heart in it. That's truly like what we're doing is we're helping make sure people's retirements last as long as they do. Make sure they never run out of money. Make sure their needs are met. All those types of things. But if you're tracking things that don't matter, then you're positioning yourself to determine success in something that was actually not success.
Mm-hmm. It's the actual age-old saying of you're tracking actions, not results.
Yes.
You got to track the results, not just the actions.
Yeah. If you call 20 leads 500 times.
I was going to say, not the made-up age-old saying that you said earlier.
Yeah. That one actually is a saying that I've heard before. That was not just an on-the-spot thing. But if you want something to improve, measure it.
Yeah.
So, if you want your production to grow, start measuring, start tracking it. If you want your appointment percentage to improve, so you get 20 leads and you're on average booking 4 appointments with 20 leads, mm-hmm. and you want that to go to 10, start tracking it.
Right.
Like there's something that happens when you track it, you place emphasis on it.
Right.
And that emphasis will affect what you do to obtain the end.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you have your 20 leads, let's say, and you're booking on average, say, 4 out of 20. So what is that, 20%? 5 out of 20, let's say, 20%. 20. Now that would be 25%. Golly. We can go back to 4.
You had it right the first time.
Yeah, we can go back to 4 and say 20%. And you want that to go to 40, or you want that to go to 50. Just you tracking that will affect the way that you work those leads, right. The way that you call those leads, what you do when you're on the phone with those leads. So the intensity with which you push for what you're trying to do, like all of that gets impacted subconsciously when you know you're going to be reporting a number on this. Mm-hmm. So you want something to improve, track it, but also track the right things.
Yep.
So I always tell agents, a 20% improvement in your appointment rate, a 20% improvement in your close rate, and a 20% improvement in your average case size can double your production on the same leads that you have already without buying another lead, right? Because a lot of times agents want to grow their production, so they're thinking, oh, I got to buy more leads. It's like, okay, yeah, that you'll write more business, but it's linear.
Right.
If you want to have compounded growth, then you've got to become more efficient with what you've already got, which means you've got to get out of what you have more than what you're currently getting out with the same input.
Right.
You're just getting more efficient with it, more effective with it. So 20% improvement in your appointment rate, that's something to track. 20% improvement in your close rate, that's something worth tracking. 20% improvement in your average case size, that's worth tracking. And then your total production, track it. Like if you want 4 things to track that. Don't track your calls. How many times have you called? Forget it. Like until you've gotten a no or an appointment, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and that's something that's so common, man. People track dials. They're like, I made 100 dials today.
Doesn't matter.
How many appointments did you get? I got 1. Okay. How many calls did you make, the next day? 100. How many appointments did you get? 0.
Yeah.
It literally doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. So I think that's something that's so important is you got to actually track the right things and let the important things dictate and actually show you the percentages from some of those other lesser, secondary things to track.
Yeah.
Like if you say, okay, I've produced X amount of production over the course of this, 30-day period, month period. Okay, how many calls did you make over that period? You can still log them. That's not a big deal. Like it's probably still valuable to log, hey, how many times did I call this individual? But then you can actually have an accurate representation on what it actually takes to get to the production threshold that you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
So then okay, with relative certainty after a 3-6 month period, it's taking me X amount of phone calls to get to X amount of production. So the thing you're still tracking is the production, but now you can have a benchmark to kind of, with reasonable certainty, if I make X amount, then I can get to X production threshold.
Yeah.
But that's not what you're aiming to track.
Right.
And most agents treat that as kind of the end all be all.
Right.
100 dials, 200 dials, whatever it is.
Yeah, and I guess tracking is one thing. Determining success by is another thing.
Yeah, right.
Right? So it's like, I think it's worthwhile to track all the leads that come in.
It's worthwhile to track as many things as you can.
Yes, but don't determine success by them.
Right.
Determine success by what does success actually look like. Okay,
Yep.
What is the ultimate end result that you're trying to have happen?
Right.
And that's
Your secondary
written business.
measurables.
It's issued business.
Yeah, secondary measurables are not indicators of success.
Correct.
So tracking your dials is not going to be an indicator of your success.
Right.
Of your success.
Totally.
Yeah.
The potential for the result doesn't mean anything until the
Right.
result's attained.
Exactly.
Right? So it's like, okay, well, I got all these cows now. Great. Do you know how stinky that would be if they don't have any calves next year? Why? Because I don't need all these cows if they're not producing more calves.
Right.
So if I get all excited about the potential for calves, that then I determine somehow success by that, I'm going to be missing the mark entirely.
Right.
It's like the potential for the result it doesn't matter until you've
Right.
actually gotten the result.
I'm excited to tell you if you have calves in your cows.
Wait, what?
Our wager.
Oh, yeah. Y'all got to, okay. We got to tell them about this.
Yeah, I brought it up, so I want you to.
So, okay. So
I'm set on this.
Yeah, all right. My girlfriend is a UT alumni, Texas X, I guess you could say. Is that what?
Yeah, Texas X.
That's y'all's? Okay. Josh is also University of Texas alumni, and Josh's wife, Marissa, is University of Texas alumni. Okay, so 3 Longhorns.
And Caleb's father,
yeah, my dad
who was a walk-on football player at the University of Texas.
That's true. Holla, holla, Mike North. There's a funny
I
story
have to
about
say
him.
that your dad was actually there, and he played football.
He did. He was
Before
a,
you say what you're about to say.
He would tell you he was a tackling dummy. And he'll tell you a story about one time on the practice field. There was a guy playing for UT at the time named Thomas Aldridge. Tom, if you're listening, holler at me. Get you connected with Pop. I'm just gonna start every time we mention anything outside of
plug.
our world, and just like, hey, holler at me if you're listening.
We're going to have a disclosure. Anything mentioned in this podcast could be a promotion for something else, but we're probably not getting paid for it.
Yeah. Thomas Aldridge, I think it was a kickoff return kind of. It was kickoff return. They had the kind of the tackling dummies, the walk-on guys, right? Playing kickoff return for the starters. Thomas Aldridge was a stud. Absolute unit. And he just absolutely leveled Pop. Like, he just, flattened my dad on the ground. And, he was a big guy. He's 6'1". Back then, he was probably 210, 215, like, kind of his fighting weight. So, like, well put together guy. Yeah. Anyway, so he played or walked on, but it was not. He was a tackling dummy on the.
Mike North, if you're listening to this, just know I'm for you.
He's probably cracking up right now.
Your son's giving air quotes over here, but I am saying you played for Texas.
All right, that's fair. He got a lot further in it than I ever did.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyways, tell the story here.
So we're out on the golf course, myself, my girlfriend, Josh, Marissa, and somehow, some way, UT football comes up, and so I went to Texas State University, eat 'em up Cats. That's my alma mater. That's my school. I'll root for Texas State #1. Well, growing up, I watched my cousin quarterback for A&M. Okay, so when you're like 8 years old watching your cousin playing football for University of A&M, it kind of creates this passion for that. So forever, I've said I'm Texas State #1, A&M #2, UT #3, which is a weird deal to have A&M and UT both that high on a list because, typically they don't go hand in hand. Like, that's a rivalry. But because I didn't go to either school, I'm able to have them both right there. Well, Josh, Marissa, and my girlfriend, they don't want UT to be third. They want UT to be above A&M because they don't like A&M. So
if you went to A&M, it's not that we don't like you.
Yes,
we just got to lean into the rivalry.
Lean into the rivalry. So we're on the golf course, and they ask me, Caleb, what's it going to take for you to say that UT is above A&M in your list of schools or whatever? UT's #1. And I said, listen, next year we're going to have bred cows that are going to need to be palpated and preg checked. And if each one of you, my girlfriend, Josh, and Marissa, come out and y'all go shoulder deep, preg checking that cow, palpating that cow, I will swap over to UT. And it was a unanimous agreement.
Instantaneous,
unanimous agreement to do it. So we'll definitely have to tell you guys about that. Like, it'll be literally 2025 before that even is an opportunity. But, yeah. So that's...
But Caleb will be a Longhorn fan very soon.
I think Josh is going to get squeamish about it. I think the girls are going to do it. And I think Josh is going to get squeamish. And my goal is that the girls do it first. And then Josh is third, and then he gets squeamish about it, decides not to do it, and they've already done. So then the deal is off.
That'd be a terrible prank right there.
Dude, your wife would not be happy with you.
No, neither would your girlfriend.
Yeah. No, that'd be funny, though.
Oh, man.
So, anyways.
But going back to what we were talking about, the things that you're measuring, I like how we're just weaving into that.
Yeah.
The things that you measure, though, are so important toward if you're going to actually succeed or not.
It is.
And we see so many agents that measure the wrong things and then never actually reach the levels of success that they are trying to.
Yeah. Effort is important, but effort doesn't determine success.
Right. Yeah, you could have effort, massive effort in the wrong things and never be successful.
Yeah.
And get burnt out pretty quick.
Right. And if you start measuring your effort, it's actually a recipe for frustration.
Yep.
Because you're going to be looking at all the things you're doing and still subconsciously you're not obtaining the result you want. If you just disregard the effort almost, it's like, I don't care how many calls I'm making. I don't care how many emails I'm sending. I don't care how much time I'm spending. I'm disregarding my effort and I am only focused on the result. You'll be able to put in more effort before it starts to feel like you're spinning your wheels and wasting your time.
Yep.
Like you'll go further faster. That's I don't know.
Now, where that gets tricky though, is for agents that have limited budget. Because if they've only got 20, 25, 30 leads on a monthly basis, prospects, right? Okay, how do you measure the result if there's only limited number of people that you can contact?
Yeah.
That's a question for you. Because we get that question. So debunk it.
Well, if you get 20 leads and that's what you can afford to buy is 20 leads, and your goal that month was to write $300,000 in production or $1 million in production or $2 million in production, I don't care what the number is. Just because you got 20 leads and now you don't have the business doesn't mean you stop. Like to me, that means, okay, well, I'm going to have to think outside the box here. I don't have the capital to buy more leads this month. But I need to be proactive in creating conversations. It's like, again, you measure the wrong thing, and if you're trying to write business, measure what you're writing. If you're trying to get revenue in, measure it. Like that's the thing. I guess I don't really care if you've got 5 leads. If you can hit your production goal on 5 leads, great. Buy 5 leads and hit your production goal. If you need 40 leads, but you can only afford 20, great. Buy your 20 and then go create conversations with 20 other people that could be in the right demographic to have a conversation about it. Like whatever needs to happen for you to hit that goal needs to happen. And I'm saying within the business because there are obviously priorities outside of business. I mean, that's one thing that we're huge on. We're huge on family. We're huge on relationships. We're huge on friends. Like life outside of the business is a necessary and important thing. I'm not saying put your marriage on the back burner because you've got to go door knock for 3 hours on date night.
Totally.
I'm not saying put your kids on the back burner, right? There are obviously things that take precedence over what you're measuring in your business. But within your business, whatever you deem as priority number 1 is priority number 1. And if you've determined that I'm working, this is my job, well, what's a job? 40, 50 hours a week? Then spend the time to obtain that end.
Right.
Don't put the other things that are of higher priority on the back burner for the sake of it.
And I'll give a case in point example of that. I had an instance here recently where somebody reached out to me, and I don't know how they got my... I do know how. I just won't say how they got my phone number. But they got my personal cell phone number, send me a text after hours, and they're saying, hey, need help with XYZ. And so sending it after hours, and I literally responded. I'm sitting down to have dinner with my family.
Yep.
And I said, hey, seeing this, I can point you to the right person on our team to take care of this thing for you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm hanging out with my wife and kiddos right now.
Yeah.
And just be unashamed of setting those boundaries. And I think so often, and if you're an agent right now and that offends you that I would do that, like my world doesn't revolve around you.
Right.
Just like your world shouldn't revolve around me.
Totally.
Your world should revolve around the people that are central to your world.
Yep.
And so, and vice versa, like we are creating things that are symbiotic, that there is give and take in all the different things where we're benefiting collectively each other. But simultaneously, you got to have respect for each other as well.
Yeah.
And that's super important.
And setting the boundaries. And man, with that, like, this is my opinion. I think there are plenty of people out there that would disagree with this opinion. But that boundary is the right boundary to have. And there are plenty of people that would say, oh no, like I'll put my wife and kids on the back burner for the sake of business. Okay. Personally, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's good. I agree personally with that boundary. So where you deem to be good and right as the boundary, set that boundary and stick to it. And don't be pushed around.
Right.
Like, and this kind of goes back to, I think last week we were talking a little bit about authenticity. It's like being real, being true to who you are and what's important in your world. And yeah, I don't know. That's a big one for me, but
Totally. Well, to that authenticity piece, we were having this a couple weeks ago, but we were having, a cocktail hour and dinner with a carrier rep. And I'm sure you recall this story, but
Yeah.
like we were hanging out with this carrier rep, and like we just had such deep conversation
Oh yeah, awesome guy.
that we left that dinner, and I was getting texts saying like I've never had a conversation like this before in all my years of doing this.
Yeah,
I've never talked about these kind of things in this kind of way, this kind of depth with any company that we've ever worked with. And it was such a high honor to me that we could go deep on like real stuff, talk about our families, talk about our faith, talk about, all the other things, regardless of where we stood on those things. And it came up in conversation.
Yeah.
Out of the overflow of who we collectively all were. And man, the conversation was so rich and so deep and so valuable. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It's so cool how that stuff can happen. And it's just being authentic.
Yep.
Not being afraid to have that conversation with somebody who's different. And I've had those conversations with people that, obviously all of you know that like I'm a man of faith. We're all, men of faith in this company. But like we have great relationships with people that aren't people of faith.
Yeah.
And we've had many people of faith or that aren't of faith who have come to partner with us, even knowing and even like feeling cringeworthy that we're people of faith.
Yeah.
But they come because they know that what we say we're going to do, we're going to do.
Yeah.
That the ethics, that the compass, that the ethos, all those different things, that they actually are true. And so I think there's something that's so valuable. I mean, we talked about this some last week, but the authenticity piece is so valuable because people can read through the crap.
Right.
And they don't want that. They don't want to be partnering and doing business with people that they can't trust.
Right.
Regardless of if they have differing opinions or not, that's less important. Like I could have totally opposite worldviews of you, but if we can trust each other to do business together, then you know that you're going to get to where you're trying to go, and I know that I'm going to get to where I'm trying to go, and collectively we are going to both be propelled forward.
Yep.
Because there's a mutual trust, even though that the worldview might be different.
Totally. I think that's one of my favorite things about not being corporate.
Yeah.
Is the freedom to be true.
Right.
To who you are.
Right.
I know people that work in corporate, and there's corporate even in our industry in certain areas in ways. But I'm thankful to not be hindered by it.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes it gets looked at as like a status threshold.
Right.
It's like I don't see it in that light in the slightest personally.
Right.
Because it often is so inhibiting of people to be who they are.
Right.
They have to be what that entity wants them to be. So yeah.
Yeah, totally. And for us, it's like we want to work with agents who are driven, who, have passion for actually making a positive impact in the industry.
Yeah.
We're not talking about politics. We're not talking about all those different, like we don't discriminate based on those things ever, because it's all about, hey, are we aligned and actually trying to bring someone to a greater level of financial independence through the products and services that we have available?
Yeah.
If you're in alignment with that, if you're doing things with ethics, with integrity, you're not doing things shady or you're not doing things below board, then we can work together.
Totally.
Even if we are on opposite ends of the spectrum in all of those other ways, which is such a great place to be. It's like a very freeing place to be. Because even talking about all the corporate stuff, like you don't even have to worry about that, because those things that would even, create troubles over there aren't happening.
Right.
Because you're just creating a culture and fostering something that people of all different kinds and all different walks and all different, belief systems can come into that for a common goal.
Right.
And move forward.
I think, and I could be wrong on this, but I think that's where the term university came from. Unity in the midst of diversity. University. I think. I could be wrong.
Just made that up, but that's
no,
okay.
I didn't. I've heard that before. It's an age-old saying.
It's the age-old saying from 5, 6, 7 seconds ago.
But I'm pretty sure that that's where that comes from. But yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Yeah, it excites me.
Another good week.
Another good week. We went to the depths. I feel like we've talked for an hour, but we've only talked for 35 minutes. But I feel like that was like a really good, grounded episode.
Yeah, and now you know our stance on whiskey and old fashions too.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. You got to experience that voice crack that I just had.
He has 2 kids.
I've got 2 kids. I'm in the clear.
He's long
I'm in the
gone
clear.
past
I'm in the
that. Yeah.
Hey, well, agents, wish you all the best. Cheers
Cheers
to another great week.
Another great week.